My name is Shanice Johnson. I came from Oakland, California, and I've been in Shepherd's Gate for 5 months now. Childhood for me was growing up in a single parent household. I am really close to my mother, kind of coming to terms that, my mom has these 4 children, and, it's really hard for her right now as a single parent raising 4 children, and we were moving around a lot. That's one thing I also noticed was that we didn't have much stability. Staying, in motels to the point where, even that wasn't an option, and we became homeless. So reality hit us very quickly, really early. And we always made the best of it. Like I said, even if we were, in a situation that we didn't like, we were always together. Throughout high school, I was on the cheerleading team. My mom had me on the softball team. So she kept me busy because of the neighborhood and because of, the people that were around those neighborhoods. She didn't want me to become a product of that environment. I think alcohol became an issue for me really early on. I would say just living in the neighborhood, that I was in, there was a lot of, drugs and alcohol. I was introduced very early on, and it became something of a defense mechanism. It helped me to not have to worry or think about, all of the hardships that we were going through at home. I went to college, and while that was very enticing, I hit the pavement running. I wanted to leave home, stay in the dorms, and just experience the full college life. I think that's where I started my addiction to alcohol. It was a way for me to congratulate myself from passing a test, and from a long days of work study. I say, what? I deserve to relax and sit down and have, a glass of wine, and, one glass would turn into a bottle. And I think that's where my addiction started. That soon became my life more than college was, more than, schoolwork became. And I eventually flunked out of school, and I came back home, and it just got worse from there. I was pregnant, and unfortunately, I was assaulted, and I lost my baby, and that's always, kind of stuck with me. And the years passed, and, I find out that, I'm pregnant. The first time I looked at him, I've never seen anything I've ever loved more than him. When I had my son, I was still with my mother. I still lived with my mother. Having a child brought out something in me that I didn't have before. It gave me the go-getter attitude. It gave me, the need and the want to, go out and do it. And, that's what I did. I went out and I got a job, and I saved up, and, I got clean. I wasn't drinking, and I got a place to live for me and my son. And I felt that for the first time in my life, I can do this. And living alone gave me a certain freedom, have a glass of wine. And right there is where it struck me again. I had a wine rack, and that domino effect is what sent me right back into my addiction. I was really selfish during that time because I had a child now. It was harder to put it down and to just trust God than it was to just pick it up and just go numb. I knew my rock bottom was when my son, it became routine for him to know where to find me in the middle of the night, leaned over a toilet seat. Because once again, I had drank too much. Falling back into addiction drove me deeper into depression, and I couldn't find a way out. So the one person I knew I could call was my mother. She told me about Shepherd's Gate, and she told me, if you're at your bottom, what's the worst that could happen? And I think Shepherd's Gate is the place for you. So I called. I didn't have phone service. My phone was turned off, and that call went through. Someone picked up. The first voice I heard was a very calm and welcoming voice. I said, "Hi, I'm Shanice. I'm calling because I really want to speak to someone about getting help." And she said, "Why, Alicia? And first, can I just pray for you?" Her prayer for me is what gave me the little bit of strength I think I still had in me to pack up whatever little I had and say, "I'm ready now." I don't know where I would be today. And I knew that if it wasn't that day, it wouldn't have happened. Coming to Shepherd's Gate has opened my eyes. I feel that I'm getting back to me. I lost myself for so long. I was a person that had no life inside of me, and I was walking around. I literally felt like one of those zombies who walk around and don't know where they're going. It's just, they're just alive on the outside but have nothing on the inside, and that's exactly how I felt. The first day I got here, in my mind, everyone was so nice. I mean, every single person here was so nice, and in my mind, I'm thinking, there's no way everyone's this nice. There's no way. It just gave me a sense of peace. Closed my eyes, and that was the first time I prayed in a very long time. It was a prayer just thanking him. I don't know how you did it, but I'm here because it's no way that a place like this could exist. Shepherd's Gate could exist without God having a hand on it. So that's pretty amazing to me. I am so grateful. There is not a way I can put it into words for Shepherd's Gate. You know where I come from. You don't get many opportunities like this, so being here is saying that. Where I thought I would fall victim to being a statistic, to gun violence, to drugs, I would fall victim to my addiction. It just gave me a lot of hope that I don't have to be there, and that there are resources for even people like me, women like me. Shepherd's Gate help me shed all of that guilt, that shame. Help me shed all of that upon coming here, just being here, just knowing God's here. He's in this place. Every day I know he's here. Every day I know he's here.